taking three.
Going for the St. Louis now.
Oh no!
Son of a bitch.
You get your two?
Yeah.
Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Thotgor here, of course, and yes, I am back, so normal service is resuming, yes. We're going to start off with a look at the Zao. Once again, I know that I looked at this, or rather that we looked at the Zao before I went away, but, you know, this was a good battle that I had last night in the Zao, and I wanted to take a look at it because, again, it shows more of the Zao's capability, right? More of the Zao's flexibility, and on top of that, this wasn't half bad of a match, so wanted to take a look at it here. So just as the battle is starting, I had waited in queue, I think it was about 4 minutes I waited in queue for this battle. You can see, obviously, you know, it's not, well, there are tier 10s in the game, but, you know, there's not a whole lot of tier 10s. There's myself, some Des Moines, there's a Montana on my side. The enemy side, I'm not 100% sure what they have for tier 10s. I know they definitely have a Des Moines. But, you know, basically a few tier 10s, tier 9s, mostly tier 8s is what we have in this battle here as well. So, okay, my original plan here was to go over to the west. I figured that that was where everyone was going to go. Take a look at the Des Moines over here off the starboard side, HMS Calgary. This player is a really good player, by the way. He stuck next to me basically the entire battle, so, you know, kudos to that guy. And as well, at the end of the game, you're going to see that guy, HMS Calgary, he actually pulls off the highest score, the most base experience right out of anyone here in the battle, so kudos to this player. Good job by that guy. And I thought at first this player was dumb, right? I was like, what the hell are you doing? Stop following me, you're too close to me. No, he knew what was going on. Yeah, it was really great play by that guy. So you can see I've started to change my mind, right, based on where the team is going, because you look at the minimap, there's not many people actually going over to the west, right? And I was surprised, so whatever. Okay, so we're going to turn, I'm going to help support B, and then I'm going to help support C, right? So I'll just basically drive towards this drive towards the landmass here, the mountains, whatever. I'll fire into B at any enemy ships that happen to be within my range that are in B, and then I'm going to take a turn to starboard, and I'm going to, you know, strafe into C, right? Help support C. So that's the plan right now. Now that, you know, the whole plan on the west side has gone. You can see here what I was talking about. Like, you know, I'm looking at the HMS Calgary there. What is going on? Why is he so close? I just want to turn. No, this guy was all over it. He knew what was going on. So no enemy ships appear in B, or at least close enough to B for me to be able to fire on. So I'm going to start turning my boat over here to C, and we're going to take a look to see what we can do over here by C, right? We do see a tier 8 Russian cruiser, this guy. Now, he gets really lucky in this whole event thing. I think, yeah, Lieutenant JFK was his name, yeah. So he gets really lucky. Now, I figured that this guy was going to die right away, right? He's a cruiser, basically soloing this cap, trying to take it by himself. It turns out, though, he does have a destroyer with him. But anyway, I figured that this was suicide and this guy was going to die. So as soon as I get around this island, I really wanted to put some armor piercing into him. Taking a look at the enemy ship composition as well, you notice I only have 2 destroyers. So for the most part, I'm going to have armor piercing loaded in the cannons here. And it's just obvious reasons, right? I'm going against other cruisers. The 8-inch cannons on this Zao are spectacular. Just amazing, so I have no concern over any ship not being able to citadel it, right? Unless, of course, it's a battleship, and even then it might happen. There is the Russian cruiser, so I put some armor piercing into him, but he's not necessarily dumb, right? He turns away from them, so I only hit him with 2 and I don't do a whole lot of damage. Alright, so we're going to try and focus on this guy a little more, see what we can do, but you'll notice that there are enemy ships by D, right? They're starting to cap D, and I didn't realize that those enemy ships were there yet. I'm still focused on the Russian cruiser, thinking that that's the only enemy ship around, you know, the biggest threat to me at this time. Torpedoes are coming in, but not a big deal. Pretty sure that those were from his destroyer buddy. It could have been launched by himself. Not 100% sure on it, obviously. B is contested. You can see that I do have a destroyer up there trying to do something, right? And then we can see Thotgor off in the distance as well. So, okay, all right. Things seem to be picking up at sea, so I'm moving out of position, right? I don't want to be too close. I want to still be able to fire on them, but I don't want to take their entire wrath at sea, right? I don't want a Lucky Citadel to come in and just do a bunch of damage to me, for example. Even though it's a tier 10, we've talked about before in the other Zao videos, you can still expect to get Citadel and have a bunch of damage done to you. At this point is when I realize, oh, look, there are enemy ships over by D, so I have a nice broadside presented to them, because I didn't know they were there at all. But I get lucky. I only take a few hits, not too bad, right? Now we need to start engaging these guys. These guys suddenly became the biggest threat, so we're going to have to get these guys down and gone. There's a New Orleans, there's a Russian cruiser, there's a Tirpitz. I think that was the only 3 ships over here. Anyway, there is the Russian cruiser, so immediately start engaging him, putting high explosives in, armor piercing into him as well, hoping to get some citadels. No citadels in that salvo, but still did some decent damage. I was taking a look at my torpedoes, but you got to keep in mind the torpedoes on the Zao have an 8-kilometer range, so something you may not necessarily be used to working your way up through the Japanese, especially considering you had 10 kilometers the whole way. There is a nice citadel on the New Orleans, so that is not too bad. He's almost gone. Fantastic. He moved behind cover though, so I couldn't do a whole lot. Now here is the Russian cruiser, so I put some shots into him. He's almost dead though. You can see a lot of my allies are firing at him as well. There we go. My allies finish him off. Fantastic. So it's a Tirpitz now and a New Orleans that we have left to deal with. There's the Tirpitz there. I did fire some armor piercing off at him because there's still the New Orleans about, and yeah, we did talk about it before, and you know, it's fairly obvious, but it has been mentioned on other channels as well. With your armor piercing, even if you shoot your armor piercing at a battleship, as long as you're hitting the superstructure of the battleship, the equipment above the actual hull, right, like the conning tower and the turrets and stuff like that, you are actually going to do a considerable amount of damage. Yes, I know. It's not. Everyone seems to be really surprised about this. I wasn't surprised about it. I knew that that was possible. I just didn't do it because I figured that, you know, burning battleships down would result in quicker deaths. But anyway. Tirpitz now, right? The New Orleans is gone. He's still around actually. He retreated behind the Tirpitz, but I'm facing off against the Tirpitz now. Now I'm going to drive straight towards him. He just fired his shells at me. I'm turning, and he got a nice citadel hit on me as well. His rear turrets are turning towards me, but I thought I had enough time to turn here without having to worry about those rear turrets firing at me, but no. You can see them. There they go. They come in, take out almost all my life. That was very close. I thought it was all over at this point. Oh man, it was real close. Anyway, so I'm still alive. We're going to line up some torpedoes on the Tirpitz here, because you can see he's coming around the island. So there we go. Those are launched, and now I have to get out of here, right? Not looking to die, not looking to pay that insane repair bill, so just going to get out of here, going to open up the distance, present a small target as possible, right, by just driving straight away from the Tirpitz, so hopefully he won't be able to hit me, or at least won't be able to do a whole lot of damage to me. There we go. I'm down maybe 700 hit points left or something like that, so it's close. You can see the New Orleans in the background as well, right? I plow right into our Montana, just plowed right into him, bounced off him as well. Managed to stay alive though, so that's good. And took out the Tirpitz with one of the torpedoes, so not too bad at all. I'm not going back over to B. I'm not interested in trying to cap B at all. No. There, I'm going to start focusing on C again, right? But I'm going to stay in the background. I'm going to stay out of the range of enemy ship's shells because I really don't want to die here. So we can see the destroyer off in the distance that I was talking about earlier. One of my allies takes him out, so fantastic. The Russian cruiser that was over by C is now long gone, and instead we have an Thotgor here. So okay, well, I'll start focusing on this Thotgor. Now he's driving away from me, and you know, I really don't have the range to hit him, but I'm still firing at him. The idea at the time, my idea at the time was, you know, he's right at my range, so I can target him like you can see, and I can fire at him. I don't expect my shells to hit, but what I want them to do is just scare him. I want him to go, oh god, that Zao is shooting at me, and to drive away, or to sail away, right? So that he won't be able to put shots into me once I get closer to sea. That was my thinking at the time for the Thotgor, and it kind of worked, or well, it's debatable, right? He could have been going this way the whole time, but he does try and get away. Now, this was the only move that HMS Calgary did here that was questionable the entire time. Just rammed me, right? But no big deal. Obviously, I'm able to get off it, to get out of it really, really quickly and get back into the fight here. So not a big deal at all. You'll notice as well that while I was back here, my repair party had well, actually, I'm just waiting for the repair party to cool down here so that I can use it again. And, or rather, no, I've already used it. Yeah, sorry. So I've already used the repair party, right? I don't have any charges left. This is the hit points that I'm going to have left to deal with the remainder of the enemy ships and to try and pull a victory off here as well. And that was part of the strategy as well of going, keeping my distance from the enemy for a time there, because I really wanted to get off another repair and then be able to push up maybe into sea, right? I'm still playing it fairly cautiously. I'm not going to go off against a bunch of enemy ships here. Just not going to happen. We can see the Des Moines there in the background over at B, so I immediately start putting shots into this guy as well. The Des Moines are really easy to take out, I find, with the Zhao here. You get a lot of really nice citadels and it just destroys him. Same can be said though, if the Des Moines were to focus me down, I'm pretty sure the Des Moines could take me down fairly quickly as well. The Thotgor is firing at me, so I'm going to have to start focusing on this guy. Now while I'm doing that, I'm going to turn and I'm going to use the island over here as cover just to mitigate any shots that do come in. And as well try and maintain a far enough distance so that maybe I can shoot over the island, right? That would be ideal. Now while I'm getting myself into position, I start noticing enemy ships over here. So there is an enemy. He's stopped and in a reverse, so I'm going to fire shots off at his bow here immediately. I do get a few hits and do a bit of damage, nothing too spectacular though. So no big deal. There is a Russian cruiser in the background. That's the same cruiser from the beginning of the match, Lieutenant JFK. So there he is there. We can see he's on fairly low health this time. Not going to take a lot to kill that guy, so fantastic. But he's turning away, moving in behind mountains, so I'm not going to be able to get any shots into him. Here we go. There is the Des Moines. Now this is where I start not necessarily freaking out, but really concerned, right? Because if this ship starts focusing on me, I'm going to be gone really quick. I get really, really lucky here, though, in that he's not even focused on me this entire time, focused on my allies, and he's busy dodging torpedoes as well, because I've got some destroyers who are launching torpedoes at him, so fantastic. While this is all going on, gives me a great opportunity to just pump shells into him and do what I can to get this guy gone as quick as possible. It was at this point too here where I was thinking that it was all over, because he's turning right and his guns are facing me at this time, so I think that it's all over basically. There's another enemy ship, so we're going to start putting shots into that guy because he's fairly low health, right? Just a few hits and that guy's going to be gone. I do end up taking a few hits there, but I get really lucky in that they don't score any citadels. Managed to stay alive. My allies took out that second enemy ship. Here's the Des Moines. You can see his turrets, right? They're not even looking at me. I'm not 100% sure why, but they're not. He grounds himself, so that opens up the perfect opportunity for me to start putting shots into him. So there's a nice citadel onto the Des Moines. Just need to wait for the reload here. We'll get another shot off into him and finish him off as well, which will be fantastic. So there goes one shell, and the remainder, there we go. Des Moines is gone. Fantastic. And that's my second kill for the game as well. Not too shabby. Looking around, the enemies only have three ships remaining, right? There's the Thotgor, there's the Macau, that Lieutenant JFK, and I think, yes, there's one more. No, all their battleships are gone. It's another cruiser that they have. It doesn't matter, that cruiser's gone now. So now it's just that Lieutenant JFK and the Thotgor that was over there at sea, so fantastic. We should have this without any issue at all. Now my plan here was to go into B. I did want to go in here and cap B, not only to have the point, but to get myself some nice capping experience here as well, because that really adds to the overall totals. You do get a bunch of experience for it, so it is well worth it to get in there and actually cap the bases and stuff, right? I mean, that in this type of game mode, that is the actual objective. Same thing in ranked, that is the objective. There's Lieutenant JFK, so I immediately start putting armor piercing into him. We've got the first salvo out. I'm ready with the second salvo, but no need, right? I get a nice little hit on him and take him out. He's gone. That's my third kill. Fantastic. Now we just have this enemy Thotgor remaining. So if I could possibly get a nice shot on him here, we might be able to finish him off. He's not exactly broadside to me. He is driving away, but here we go. That was his fatal mistake. He turned into it again, right? Not aware that the shells were incoming. I get 2 citadels on him and bring him down to barely any life remaining. Ally shots come in, finish him off. Game is over. Fantastic. So that was a pretty great game in the old Zao here. Now I did also get myself a Dreadnought medal, and that of course is because I healed more than half of my HP with the heal ability. We managed a few kills. You can see there's the HMS Calgary, like I was saying, first overall. I'm third overall, so that's not too bad at all. Fairly happy with it. Now damage done, I didn't actually add up the numbers, but it's maybe 100,000, maybe. More importantly, I actually made money this round, right? And a bunch of experience too, because my commander on the Zao is not retrained as of yet. Almost there though, just not quite there yet. Anyway, that is today's video. I do hope you guys did enjoy it. Taking another look at the Zao, what she can do in all her glory. As always, leave any comments you have for me in the video comment section below. I love reading those and responding back to them. Hit the old like button if you did like today's video. Hit subscribe if you were not a subscriber. And as always, I do hope you enjoy the rest of your day.